What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tino back here today as we take a break from the wrestling with all the crazy stuff that's been going down. And we're here to talk about something. Just at this point, you can't look away, guys, because it's another SouthSide Boys episode, and the White Sox are 33, 34, and 113 or 14. I've lost track. They got 3 weeks left, 18 games, I think, to be exact. So we're here to talk about that. Jerry's got a quote. We're going to talk a little bit about the scenarios that's been going down on the field. I have not looked away, but let's get the guys in here. Let's get it going. It's been a few weeks, and let's see how everybody's been going. So let's get Deech. What's up, Deech? How are we doing?
What's up, Tino? In regards to the Sox, I hope just lose out at this point. If it's going to burn, I want it to burn all the way fucking down. I'm kind of done. So
I mean, it's like building a fire at night and just watching it burn. I feel like that's what I'm watching every single day. So, and now let's get our third member, Justin. What's up, Justin? How we doing?
Living, boys. How about yourselves?
That's all you can do, right? Day by day. So, it's been a few weeks. We've had NFL season begin. A lot of craziness. We had stuff go on, so we obviously weren't live. So, how are you guys doing the last few weeks? How'd your fantasy team turn out, Justin, week 1 and everything else like that? So, Justin, how have you been the last couple weeks?
Been good. Football. It's really football
Mizzou, right? The Mizzou Tigers. That's what it's all about.
2-0. Only ranked matchup in college football on Saturday. So, tune in SEC Network, 11:45 a.m. No, doing well, though. Haven't been too tuned into the White Sox fantasy team. Is 0-1, but we're at least third or fourth in the league in points. So sometimes you draw the bad matchup. A lot to build on, though.
How many points did you score?
Oh, hell, I'd have to check. Half PPR and 6-point passing touchdowns for what it's worth, for reference.
Okay. We'll find out that, and I'll tell you this. Last year, I came in 6th place. I barely made the playoffs. And it was only because I scored enough points. So, those points can come back in handy because.
No, they can, man. And yeah, I scored 117.78.
And I'm sure for a league like that, that's pretty high because I know the scoring's different in everybody's. So
fourth most in the league.
I mean, hey, so, yeah, that works. So
it was hard to be too frustrated by it. I'm just glad they didn't suck.
I mean, you can't do nothing. I played a guy that had the Vikings. He had Anthony Richardson, and then he had
you said that. I remember that because I had
gotta love it.
I was up against the fucking Bears defense, so we were watching it live and them score 2 fucking times.
Listen, the Bears win. I said it. I don't know if the Sox, the Cubs, everybody sucked because I know the Cubs are playing better, whatever. But if all Chicago teams suck and the Bears are good, I'll take it because I am tired of losing and everything. So. Teach, how you doing, bro? How's the last couple of weeks been? Have you been to any other games? And you were actually telling us before you got no more. You're done. Over. Season done, right? You're no more games for you.
There's not there's no intriguing me to go to another miserable game where they'll lose. You'd have to give me free scout seats or something at this point to really have the desire to go out to the ballpark, but
they might.
Watched them much.
Scout seats. So, I'd go. Shit. I'll drive down there tomorrow to go see you. Let's go to scout seats.
They're home this weekend against the mighty A's.
Oh God.
Who are actually low key playing really well in the second half.
A lot of players from other teams are actually throwing compliments towards the A's way, and they're their offense is lethal now, and they all just the pieces fit together is really
just in time to leave Oakland.
Yeah, seriously.
Bullshit,
man. Isn't that how it always goes? Because didn't the Raiders do the same thing last year in Oakland? They had a decent year, I think. I think they made the playoffs, but should be interesting to see what happens with the A's next year. I don't know.
Well, they're going to play in a minor league stadium. That's what's going to happen with them.
That's great.
Yeah.
So does that mean they're going to have tryouts for people? Could we go try out to go play, or you know what I mean?
They're still going to have Brent Rooker.
Brent Rooker, man, he's It seems like the A's find these guys out of nowhere every single year, like the Brett Rookers. I remember when Chris Davis had one heck of a year. They had Josh Donaldson at one season. At one point, they had they always find these one guys, and then they go to like Matt Chapman's and all these guys that go and
Matt Chapman just got paid. Exactly. I don't know if he's worth that money. That makes me think the Sox are never going to sign anybody again if that's what he's getting.
Yeah, probably not.
The Giants GM trying to save his job because I know he's been taking a lot of shit this year for the offseason moves he made.
Or lack thereof.
Yeah. Well, because the big one was the outfielder, but isn't he out? Jung-Hoo Lee, wasn't that his name?
Something like that, isn't it? I don't know how to say those guys' names. I never even try to pronounce them because I just get them wrong, and it just
butcher them.
Gotta love it. So what was the last game you went to, and did they win?
No, they did not.
Win. They did win a few games the past week. They didn't lose all of them. I just forgot which ones they won.
They've won like 3 games since the All-Star break.
Well, I think it's like 9, but yeah.
Pretty much the same thing. I took my goddaughter. It was her first White Sox game, so we did the whole first game certificate, got her like the little button that goes with it, ventured into the kids zone, which I had never been on.
Did you see? I haven't been up there in years. Did they like redo it? What does it look like?
I mean, it had like a bunch of different interactive things. Like there was this almost like a cutout of Luis Robert, and you're able to like race him from like one base to the other, and it's
like the cardboard thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember those. I forgot. I think I might have done that as a kid, but oh man,
I had never been in there, so I was like, oh, okay, we'll go in. And
you've never been there?
Cool for kids, but
as many times as he's been to the stadium, I feel like DJ definitely should have went into the kids.
Never raced Scotty Pod, so what they race? You race Luis Robert now?
Yeah, you race.
What you're saying?
Luis Robert now. No, I had never been in there. By the time I even it came into my head, because I mean, when we went to the games, we normally had lower level seats, and my dad was kind of just like, "We'll get what you want, like you're at a baseball game." So we never even ventured that way. But no, and then by the time I got old enough to even know what it was, I was like, "Well, I'm not even able to get in."
Obviously, yeah, not interested in it. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
We took my brother one time, it was years ago, and he was like borderline, like really should not be going in there. And I was like, hey, I want to go in there. And I don't think they let us in. They were like, he's too big. So
that's why you got to take advantage of it when you got like your goddaughters, she can't walk. So I got to go in there with her, I used to do that with my cousin. Now he's just 14 and yells at me. So, I mean, yeah. So as you said, the White Sox have not won very many games. It's been a lot of ugly baseball, a lot of disaster baseball, and just a lot of no fun games where it seems like they score a couple runs in the first, bottom or top or whatever inning that they're in, they give up 4 runs to the Orioles, to the Red Sox, to whoever it was. And they just seem to be it just seems like at this point they're like, we just need to get the season over with. We don't care. And, I cannot imagine how hard this is, but I mean, at some point you just got to keep wearing it and keep because even Chuck and Ozzy say, that's what kind of makes me feel a little bit better about this is because even Chuck and Ozzy say, they go on there, Chuck throws the papers in the air and is like, well, what are we going to talk about? Because it's the same stuff every single night.
There's no storylines. There's no young, exciting guys breaking out, no big plays. There's nothing. Truly, I feel bad for them. This is how they're going out. I mean, this is talking about this fucking team.
I mean, yeah, and the fact
they can't even say what I'm sure they both really want to say.
Oh, I'm sure.
What I'm saying is, Chuck Garfien should write a book when this is all said and done.
I mean, the one thing I did, and the one thing I did learn in the last 2 weeks that I honestly did not even realize, and we may have talked about it before, and we may have talked about it in the last episode. But I did not realize this was the last year of NBC Sports Chicago.
Yeah, we did because I asked if they were coming back, and then it was one of the clips that you sent actually. That's
right. Okay.
Because we said that Brooks didn't confirm that they'd be back, and I was like, that means no.
Yeah.
Which
okay. So we did talk about So I didn't realize that it was like officially. So it's gonna be really interesting. I also got an email. This is kind of how I knew it was official. Is because YouTube sent me an email saying they were taking it off my YouTube account because it will no longer be available. And then they did like the 20-year thing, whatever, with Chuck and I didn't even know that guy. I didn't even know that guy still worked for Chicago. The guy that for the Cubs or whatever the heck his name was. And I've also noticed too with the announcers, they've been doing a lot of like different types of like swapping with like John and Steve and trying to figure out like a different like I don't know.
I was curious about that because I've seen some clips with Len on the call, and I was wondering if that was I didn't know if John was just out or what that deal was.
Yeah, I don't know because I'm assuming that
vacation.
Huh?
They said Schriffen was on vacation. Was I think the one game I tuned in.
That's the official story.
Yeah, I guess, but who knows? I never remember like Steve Stone. I don't know. Maybe they negotiated it in their contract that they get all this time off, but
I know Steve has it, but I feel like, and again, maybe he does, and I don't know. Again, I'm not the guy that wrote the contract, but I know, like, I'm sure Steve because he's like a legend or whatever. But this is the first year for John. I feel like that they should. I know what I feel like he should have done. Like he's done this a lot, and I know with Benetti he would definitely take weekends off sometimes. But he had that agreement with the basketball and whatever he was doing before. So I don't know. Because I was just curious because I have heard a lot of Lennon stuff when I tune in. So it should be interesting to see what the booth. Steve did say he possibly is coming back. I don't know, though. So, I mean, honestly, I don't want anybody back, though. I just want to forget this season because I'm looking at this.
Just fresh, completely new.
Yes, just all of it. Because they are 45 and a half games out of the first place of the whole NAL. They're 33 and 114. They have a win percentage of 224, a run differential of negative 311, and they are 2-8 in the last 10 games. So
none of those stats were encouraging.
And they have
not a one
payroll in the AL Central.
I mean, at least if they were, I would have. If they would have went 6-4 in the last whatever, I would have been like, okay, whatever. They're winning a couple more games, but it just seems like they just again, like I said, like Robert. I don't know. He's just lost. He just doesn't care. Vaughn and Benintendi. Me and Deech were talking about it. Benintendi has been very good the last probably month and a half. And I think he now leads the team in home runs with what? 16, 17? What's funny? I think it's true.
He does. B, he has been better since I think Sizemore said something to him. Like, dude, you realize you're just ruining your fucking like career and just like legacy, reputation, whatever you want to call it. Like, yeah, the team might suck, but like you were a respected player.
Yeah.
Like, have a little bit of fucking pride, man.
Vaughn has 17. So I think Vaughn recently just hit that the last couple games. So he now is the leader, but they were
the video of him getting beat to first base yesterday. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
I was watching it. Yes.
It was a grounder to him, and the runner beat him to first, and it should have never happened. I mean, like, he wasn't even running Vaughn. It was awful.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like these guys, and there was one game in the past 2 weeks. I do remember this. They did take Robert out for injury or whatever, but I also feel like that he just wasn't running. Like, he may have injured himself. I don't know. But I also feel like the man just was not running down to first base. Because if he ran hard enough, he would have beat that play, and it would have been a safe and another run. And you see the difference, like, when we run the bases, and then you see other teams, like you said with that play. They run the bases and 2 runs scored. Not even just that he missed it. 2 runs scored on that play. So now, and then they get 4 runs, of course, and then they lose 6-4. All season, the same thing that it has been. And these young pitchers, I don't know if they just also have given up, but they're kind of scaring me with the way Cannon and Nastrini and all these guys.
Season, man.
I know.
The morale has to be so low for those young guys,
sure.
especially.
what was I what I forgot what movie I was watching last night. I'm like, this is what it has to be in the locker room. I'm like, these guys are just they're sad, they're depressed, they're throwing. I'd be flipping tables. I'd be like, I want to win. I want to win.
That's what losing sounds like.
Is that what it is? That's what that should be the
line from. It's a line from Moneyball. They're all like dicking around in the locker room in the clubhouse after they lose, and Brad Pitt comes in and makes a whole scene, and then like throws a chair or something, and it's dead quiet, and he says, "That's what losing sounds like."
Yeah,
that's what you need to do, because there needs to be something done that like gives fans some type of hope next year. Because I just watched a YouTuber. And do you guys know who Zach Hampel is?
No, I might know him if I saw him.
Is that the guy? That is? That's not the guy who goes to every stadium to catch home runs, is it?
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, that's him? Oh, I know who that is.
Yeah, so that's him. But I was scrolling through and I put White Sox, and so I guess he went to the doubleheader against the Texas Rangers. And just seeing it, like having him have like the camera around and seeing how empty the stadium was at like a 410 was just wild on like a whatever, because I mean the fact that
the Rangers one that was the makeup day weekday game, that's tough.
Yeah, and I know we talked about it. And it was just like really, and it's just like the fact that these fans, like usually in September, like it's bad, but usually there's people there. Like usually, you know what I mean? Like I feel like, you know, whatever.
As opposed to literally no one, yeah.
And I talked to somebody came in. I met a fellow White Sox fan here in Wisconsin. We were talking and everything else like that. And he went to the Luis Robert bobblehead day, or not Luis Robert, the Frank Thomas one. Yeah. And he said he literally goes, he's like, I went to the thing, I got the bobblehead, and there was people walking out of the stadium, and they were just leaving because all they wanted was the bobblehead. I know there's a lot of people that do that anyway, but like, I don't know. It's sad that this is what the season and what this team has gotten to. And then lovely, our owner, Mr. Jerry Reinsdorf, comes out.
Chairman Reinsdorf.
Did Deech, did you see this quote too also?
Oh yeah.
So
it's a pleasure when Jer Bear speaks up.
So would you like to read the quote? I'm going to put it up here on the screen. Would you like to read the quote, or would you want me to read the quote?
I would prefer you just read it at this point.
Okay, I'll read it for you. I was trying to get these, you know. Okay, anyway. Everyone in this organization is extremely unhappy with the results of this season. That goes without saying. This year has been very painful for all, especially our fans. No shit. We did not arrive here overnight, and solutions won't happen overnight. But that's when we were not told. We were told we were contending this year. That's what I thought. Overnight either. Going back to last year, we have made difficult decisions and changes to building a foundation for a future success. What has impressed me is how our players and staff have continued to work and bring a professional attitude to the ballpark each day. Despite a historical difficult season, no one is happy with the results, but I commend the continued effort. I expect to have more to say at the end of the season. And oh God, if he comes back on the podium and I have to hear what this man has to say and listen to him have a press conference again, I'm
just confused what he can say in 3 weeks, but he can't say that he can't say yesterday or Monday, whenever the hell that quote came out.
Yeah, it was only a couple days ago that it did come out.
What he expects to have more to say at the end of the season? What? I mean, like seriously, like Deech, do you have any idea? Like, I mean, what that he's still that makes it sound like he's still evaluating. We know he's not firing Chris Getz, so like, what is I have to wait? What can't be said right now? What can't be said that they aren't telling us every fucking night on the field when they lose 130 games or however the hell many they're going to lose?
Honestly,
you know?
I mean, yeah, unless it was firing Chris Getz, I really don't want to fucking hear it. I guarantee it's going to be this whole like, oh, let's turn the page. We're celebrating 125 years, so there was 125 fucking losses this past year. I mean, I don't know. Even Sox Fest.
They're not having Sox Fest.
But if they do, though, we need to go and just make time, bro. Oh my god.
They claimed they were bringing it back this year.
Man, we should go and just go, and man, that would be fantastic because it literally will be like a riot. But you're right;
they're not having it.
They can't.
I give it a 0% chance.
And within the first day, they're just like, it's not continuing the rest of the weekend or whatever. Someone is going to go and be a complete fucking asshole.
And all it takes is
that's
a couple
why it's
beers,
not going to happen because they know that. I mean, they're not dumb. They're dumb, but they're not that dumb. I mean, they know.
The only way
they didn't even have it last year, and that wasn't this.
I think what the only thing I could see them doing is bringing like a ton of the 05 World Series and not putting Chris Getz there. Nobody who's really.
No, they'll do something for season ticket people with the 05 team the same way that they had that thing that you went to this past year at the Feud Museum. That's what I think. They'll take care of you guys and let you parade around with Paul Canerco and Jose Contreras and Joe Crady and remember these great times from 20 years ago, and rather than having regular ass people go to Sox Fest and get autographs from Nick Nastrini and whoever the fucking hell, you know what I mean?
No, I mean I was hoping to meet like, man, yeah.
If I was in charge, I would not have Sox Fest. I have heard way too much shit at ball games and stuff this year where like someone like. They were worried about someone bringing a gun in the stadium. It'd be the same fucking thing at Sox Fest. There's fucking lunatics. Like, I'm mad. I'm not going to, like, take it to, like, a crazy-ass extreme like that. But, like, dear Lord, I mean, the first session, no matter who the hell had the mic, and it was, like, an open Q&A, someone would be an asshole immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing. I think if they did do it, there would be a lot of restrictions, and they wouldn't do the Q&As because you're right. People get up all and it would be a riot, and people would be fighting. Like people are fighting at these NFL games like they're in the WWE. I mean, all they need to do is go call Triple H or Tony Khan because have you guys seen some of these fights that have been going down too? Because I mean,
I saw the Raiders.
That's what would be going down at Sox Fest is those types of fights with people just getting too drunk and trying to go after players. And if they did have a Sox Fest, they would. It sucks that they can't, and they're probably not going to. Even if they just had a better season this year, because it is the 20-year anniversary. I think it would have been really cool if they would have been able to get like Contreras, Creedy's, Burley's, Canerco's, all the guys that were there in 05, and then maybe a couple of the rookies and like a Benintendi or whatever. But as bad as it's been, nobody's going to go. Nobody's going to pay the prices that they're going to try to outrageously try to charge us for the MVP pass and all the other BS that they sell there. So I think you're absolutely right. What you said, the season tickets are going to get all the benefits, and Deitch is going to be meeting all those players.
Yep.
So good for Deitch.
Deservedly so, though. If they don't do shit for me, I would be like, all right. I mean, I have stuck through this shit with you for.
Oh yeah, no. I by no means have a problem with that being exactly what happens. I won't blame them that because of. I mean, they know. I do blame them because at the end of the day, it's their own fault. So no matter what, they're at fault. But
yeah.
People know at this point they gave everyone the middle finger this year, and it pisses me off that even Chris Getz has gone back on numerous things. Even that whole like underdog, we're gonna shock the league type crap they were pushing during spring training. Now all of a sudden he's like, well, it doesn't surprise me that if you were to tell me we would have lost 105 or 110 games, 120 is a little shot. It's like, oh, really? So you walked into the season trying to amp everyone up and acting like you put together some roster that was at least going to try, and you were under
wouldn't have been surprised if they lost 105 games.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And here we are, 114, and we still have 18 games left.
I don't know.
That's what makes me sad.
Apparently, he's going to find a wizard for the hitting this offseason. He said he needs to find a Brian Bannister for the hitting side. It's like, why the fuck couldn't we have done that last year?
Wouldn't that have made more sense? Why didn't you pay the guy when we had talent?
The 3 seasons leading up to this year, they fucking still couldn't hit. So, I mean, I don't know what they thought was going to change adding Nicky Lopez to the lineup. And
listen, Naperville Nicky, you played for Chicago. It's time to go. As I said earlier, start fresh. I'd start fresh with no manager. Create a franchise. Just start with the White Sox. See if we can get a franchise. Let's see if we get a fantasy draft going where they will be like hockey, where they let the Vegas just pick a bunch of random people off the teams. Because I don't know what we're going to do and who we're going to see. And the one guy that has been semi-impressive, but you mentioned him a little bit in the beginning and when we were off the show, is Brian Ramos finally got called up and he's sitting on the bench. And when he does get it in that bat, he hits a home run. And he does have a couple decent at-bats. So, Deech, have you been and have you watched what Ramos has done since he's been up? And what do you think about what is going on with him?
I did actually watch the game where he did start and homered. I had been watching the lineups to specifically see when he was going to play because Miguel Vargas has done jack shit. I mean, he's been fucking horrendous.
Awful.
Why is he getting playing time at third? Is it just because Getz wants to reassure himself that he made the right deal with trading Fetty? And I mean,
Fetty is the only one that is honestly doing bad. I know Tommy Pham's kind of fallen off, but I mean, the way Eloy's been playing and Kopech, I think Kopech is the one that makes me the most mad.
It's just that they got nothing for him. I mean, that's all it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you knew he would succeed out there.
And Miguel
Vargas. Not like Eloy is hitting for power or anything. Like he's not this world class hitter. He's got one homer there.
I know. I know.
One of the veterans, I think it was Santander, went up to him when he first came into the clubhouse and was like, "You're on a winning team now, so you need to buy into this shit." He was trying to be nice and welcome him, but it was totally one of those whatever bullshit you were pulling in Chicago, stop that right now.
Yeah. You know your reputation.
And that's what somebody needed to do in Chicago was step up to his ass and tell him that. And it's probably he's like a light bulb clicked in his head. And he's like, "Oh, I can hit a baseball now." But as you said, he's hitting singles. And I wish the best for all of these players, but the team I root for is the one I want to see succeed, and the guys that they continue to get, like Miguel Vargas, is just awful. If I have to watch Miguel Vargas play a baseball game again, I'm going to scream on the top of my lungs because he's so bad.
Yoan Moncada can only play, I believe, 2 more games in Charlotte.
Go ahead.
They have to do something with him. I question whether they're going to option Miguel Vargas down to AAA and because I mean, unless they're going to just straight up be like, we're DFAing Yoan Moncada and just paying him out his buyout next year and all that, they have to add him to the roster. So I don't know what they're going to, but they've been talking. I mentioned before, they're having Ramos take reps in the outfield during practice. Do we not learn?
Do we not learn? No, we don't learn.
Chris Getz is different, though. We have another fucking GM who thinks he's smart trying to play people out of position. It's the same shit over again.
He said he's smart, though. Yeah, I don't know, man. This guy is just, I can't deal with him. And I don't know what the point of what he is going to do because he needs to do something with this team because I'm tired of it and I'm sick of it and I just want to see my baseball team play good. So should be really interesting. But I mean, I am very interested to see what happens with Yoan because he's ripping the ball in Charlotte or wherever the hell he's at.
Yeah, he's always done that.
I know he's always ripping the ball in Charlotte. So we should do an over-under on how many games you think Moncada plays until he gets hurt again, until they shut him down for the year. Does he last I'll say he plays 10 games. Does he play over or under 10 games?
Under.
I would probably
never take an over on him to do anything.
He said nothing.
Yeah. career quadruple A hitter.
Quadruple A. So the
No
last
one's
thing I
going to
wanted
pay
to,
him, and I'm going to be so happy.
who do you think's going to pay him?
The Rockies or someone fucking dumb.
Imagine
No one takes themselves seriously.
Imagine the Rockies with an infield of Yohan Moncada and Chris Bryant in 2025.
Well, they both just be hurt the whole year.
They'd be competing for who is on the IL longest during a season.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris Bryant is like completely fucked too. His back is gone. And then I saw some comment earlier in the season where he's like, maybe I should have looked at Colorado's prospects before deciding to go there. No fucking
Oh
shit.
my God.
Or just know that they're never a serious organization, that they let Nolan Arenado walk to sign you. Like,
they paid.
What does that tell you?
They paid for Nolan Arenado to play for the Cardinals. They like paid.
I mean, but you know who they'll never get rid of, and that's Mr. Charlie Blackmon.
He'll play there forever.
He's a here.
He's man, gotta love it. So the last thing I did want to do here, because obviously there's not else more to talk about because this team is a shit show. But what we do have to talk about is there is 18 games something left. So I'm gonna go through these games and say who we face, and then we're gonna see how many wins the Sox get. So we're gonna play a game real quick. We got the A's this opening series. They don't play today, so that's good. You don't gotta watch baseball today. This next week they play in Los Angeles, in LA, so that's fun. So they're on at 9 o'clock and 8 o'clock. And then they go to San Diego. I'm sure Dylan Cease will pitch in that series. They'll probably pitch a no-hitter perfect game. We play the Angels again, and then we play the Tigers to end the season. So looking at the schedule, Justin, since we can't see you, how many games do you think that they win with the final? I think it is 18 games.
I'm thinking that if the team was worth half a shit, they could have carved this schedule down the stretch and made a run to get in. Having the Angels on there is encouraging. I'll go. How many total are there? 18, you said?
15, I think. Yeah, 15. I counted 3, 6, 9.
All right, they'll go 3 and 12.
3 and 12. So they will finish the season at 36 and 120 something. That's good. Probably though. So Deech, what do you think?
2 and 13.
2 and 13.
Wow, Deech went lower than me. That's a first.
I know, right? So who do they get 2 wins against?
Yeah, it's seeing the Angels there twice is what's getting
because they can't win a series. So it's going to be like the last game of a series or the first game of a series.
Yeah. They'll win one game in each series against Angels. They're going to get
probably right.
Ass kicked by the A's. Because the A's are just going to run on them because
the A's are so fast. Like, that's the one thing I hate about the A's is how fast of a team they really are.
I mean, Chucky Robinson fucking sucks.
He's so bad. He's just makes me
defensively. I mean, he's just not good. But even when Corey Lee catches, our pitchers suck at holding runners. So I mean, we're always at a disadvantage. So when you get this guy like the A's have multiple guys? Isn't Lawrence Butler like fast? Or there's a few guys?
Everybody on that team. Their no-name guys aren't fast. I think isn't Duke. Chuck was talking about Duke Ellis. I forgot Duke Ellis was on the team this year. I think he's on the A's now.
He's been like PFA'd and picked up by like a ton of different teams. I know.
Yeah, I think he is because Chuck was talking about him and said that we face him again this season. I don't know what team, but I think it's the A's or the Angels. Well, the last month we're gonna get Kevin Pillar's probably gonna go 8 for 20 or 8 for 15. Dylan Cease will pitch a complete game. Who else? What else we got? Is there anybody else on those teams? All the guys that we face will just have career days, I'm sure. So I will say they win 5 games. I'll say they win 5. I'll say they win one more series to finally break the series. I don't know which series, but they'll win a series. We'll see. But
how many games do they need to break the record?
I think that they need to go because they're 33 and 114. The record is 42 and 122, or is it lower than that? I forget because I get confused because it's the MLB era, the World Series era. It's not like the Cleveland Spiders. So I always get confused on which one is which and which record it is.
20?
But I think that they need, because I remember Chuck and Ozzy were talking about at one point. They said they needed to go 10-8, and I said that was crazy. So I don't know what it would be now. Maybe they have to go like 12-8 or 12-6 or something. I don't even know. But I think they got to get over 43 wins.
Yeah, they're not doing that.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, again, we could be wrong, but let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, because they say the Cleveland Spiders that does not count because it was after they only played 120 games. So that is why that does not count, because that is, yeah. Oh, I think it. No, okay, that's not it. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, that's great. So it is 30. Oh, the 1962 Mets, right? So they're 40-120. So they have to win 7 more games to tie it. They have to win. So yeah,
there's no shot. They're just going to randomly become a 500 team for the last 2 weeks.
So
yeah.
So if you look at it, the modern era, I'm going to show my phone. I'm going to put myself big screen. You guys can see my face for a second. If you see it, guys, let me see if I can focus my camera. Probably not very well. Probably okay. That might not work very well. But
yeah, can't even see
it's blue, and the White Sox are at top. So that's so much fun. So we'll see, because they have to win 3 more games to get past the Philadelphia Athletics. They have to win 5 more to get past the Boston Braves. And then they have to win 7 more to get past the Mets. So I don't think that's happening. I'll say they go third. I'll say they win 30, maybe, like you said. I don't even know. Makes
People
me sad.
Grady Sizemore's post games. It's like, what do you expect him to fucking say?
I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, you could say what you want about Grady and everything, but I mean, he was given what he was given, and he really isn't doing, like, he can't. I mean, there's not so much that, again, just like people, making comments about whatever and saying that people don't watch or the views are down with whatever. All the views for all the White Sox podcasts are down on all the White Sox stuff, because nobody wants to watch this team, and all it is a laughing stock of the MLB. The fact that, as I continue to say, this is going to be a documentary in about 10 years that we're all going to be sitting there. And I hope that they don't make it, because maybe the Sox will turn this into something else, but doesn't seem like it's going down that road. So, yeah.
We'll get to listen to Chris Getz quotes. We're working with the cards we were dealt. Motherfucker, you were the goddamn head of minor league development and part of the organ. You weren't dealt shit. You were part of the fucking dealing. I mean, this isn't it. I don't know. They're like tone deaf is really what it is. They're completely fucking tone deaf.
Yeah. And they don't understand that, something needs to change. So I'm going to get to the chat, see what the chat's saying, see what everybody is. And if there's anything else you want to talk about, let me know. And yeah, but we got Justin in the house. What's up, Justin? Thank you for coming and hanging out. We got Victoria, Tori in the house. What's up, Tori? We got Max. What's up, Max? What's up, gang? What's up? What's up, Daniel? How you doing? So I know that Max, if you are still here, I hope you were here to listen to our thoughts about what we did say about Jerry's comments. Thank you, Max, for watching throughout the whole show. What do you guys think about the way? And I guess he asked about Colson Montgomery. He kind of didn't any. Did he end up finally getting hot? I haven't seen nothing about him, but they also haven't said anything bad as of late, because last thing I heard about him is that he was batting like 180 and he couldn't hit the ball if his life depended on it. So
I saw some tweet the other day that he was like this is encouraging, and it was like a 4-game sample size that he had like all right numbers. Like the prospect shit, I can't.
He's not hitting for average. It was like he had like, I think like 4 games or something like that, but his average is still like 220, which is why people want him up. I don't think Chris Getz will do it, because he's nervous he's going to expose that nothing was accomplished this year, like top to bottom.
Absolutely nothing. Even player development, like I feel like even like the guys like Brooks Baldwin and guys like that, or like, it's just like we haven't seen nothing, and they keep bringing up and picking up these guys that like the Del Santos guy or whatever that's been on the Yankees, and forgot who he started the season with. But like,
who's the other relief arm they picked up the shorter.
Which one? They have so many of them. Does his name start with a V?
Yeah,
Like Verveld or something like that?
I don't
I'm
know.
not good at pronouncing. I'm not very good at pronouncing people's names, but let me take a look and let me see how to say it because I know exactly who you're talking about, but I do not know because I've seen some, and it's sad that a guy named Zach Aldard or Allard or however the heck you want to say his name is the guy that seems to be pitching like semi okay, and it just like when I look at this and see the Sox have 33 wins in September, it makes me sick. It is, where is he at? Gus Valland.
Yeah,
Varland.
really been solid. I could see them keeping him through next year, but no, I would bring every fucking young arm up next year. You sign one solid reliever that you can have as your closer and just be done with it.
Yeah. I mean, because you listen to these guys' names that are in the bullpen right now, and I just like these guys are like names that like you wouldn't even like think of that would like be on teams. Like I said, D. Los Santos. We have Chad Cool. They just like saying cool. We have Freeland Barrio. And again, there's nothing wrong with these guys, but like I don't know. We have Frazier Allard, as I said. What do you guys think about Hirio Arte? I don't know if we've talked about him, and I think he pitched during the last 2 weeks. The guy that we got for what trade was he in? Was he in the Dodgers trade, right?
No, he was in the Cease trade.
The Cease trade. Okay.
Jairo Iriarte. He's going to be a
Ariarte.
They just have him, I guess, getting innings at the major league level. He's walked a fuck ton of people. He does not seem ready. So this whole like let's trade Crochet. We already have a rotation. Is a bunch of shit. Noah Schultz won't be up until the end of next year, if that. I can't see them being like Hagen Smith, come pitch in the majors and blow out your arm when we suck.
That's not worth it, and that would not be not at all. Yes, we are happy the season is almost over. Yes, I am at least. Shoot. So, if the White Sox win 2 more games, they will finish 35 and 127. Thank you, Chris, for that. I appreciate you doing the quick math for me. Season is almost over. Yes, it is. And yes, the season is almost over. We got 2 more full weeks left of the season because we obviously ain't going to the playoffs. So I think the last game is September 29th because they give the guys the break, the day off on Monday, right, to start the playoffs or whatever. Because the wild card, I think, starts October 1st or 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. So we got 2 weeks left. We will have our guy Elijah on the episode. I think it's next week, but if not, it will be the following week. And he'll help us and he'll maybe give us some hope for the offseason and 2025. So, Justin Deach, any last words, any last thoughts on the show today?
We're almost to the end of it.
Woohoo! Just keep on trucking, right? That's what I just keep doing. It's like pushing a brick down every day. Deach, you got anything else to say?
God bless who is ever still watching even I cannot sit here and watch every inning of every game. I mean, God bless you, Tino.
God bless me. Hey, I don't know how it's weird. I don't know, man. I'm weird. Huh?
From even just turning it off when the starter gets pulled to, I or watch, and if it looks interesting, I'll maybe turn it on. It's pretty bad. There's just other shit to do with your life than get set over a team that's gonna set historical marks in a bad way.
That's very true. You do still got we and it's funny because it's gotten to the point too where I've kind of forgotten, and like there's been a few times like my mom is even asked, she's like, why aren't you watching the game? And I'm like, well, Mom, it's like the same thing. And it's like, because I'd like tell them like I do got to watch the game sometimes to see what the heck's going on. But now at this point, you can look at the score and see that it's the same thing. And I'll turn it on, I'll see how it goes. But it's usually they, like I said in the beginning, they score and then they give up the lead. So we'll see how it goes the next week. We'll see how many more games they lose, probably all 7 of them, 6 of them. And we'll be back here next week for another Southside Boys episode as we got 2 more left to do. And let's get through it. Let's get through this month. We'll head into the offseason and football's on. So before we go, I want to ask you this, Justin. I know Deech don't watch football, so we don't want to talk to Deech about this. So who you got on Thursday Night Football tonight?
I think Buffalo's going to win. Honestly, I'm confused why they're underdogs. It makes me feel like it's a rat line, but I'm the exact opposite of a Tua believer. So I always think the Finns are going to lose. I think he sucks and is a joke, and he has fast wide receivers and a good offensive scheme, and that covers up for him being terrible. I have a hatred for lefty quarterbacks, a very strong one, and he fits that mold. So,
do you got anyone playing tonight?
No, I'm actually playing against Tua and Achan if he plays.
Yeah, I know that's big game time decision. So
yeah, so I'm hoping that my buddy keeps him in the lineup and then he doesn't play. That's my hope.
I mean, there's been people, bro. There's somebody that left McCaffrey in their lineup. I'm like, why didn't you? And they had Jordan Mason. It's like, why didn't you just start Jordan Mason? It don't make sense to me. Start your lineup. So unless you're Justin's opponent, don't do that so Justin can get another win. So. Yes, guys, go follow all the social medias. Go do all that good stuff. Thank you for coming and hanging out here today with all of us as we try to get through the rest of the season. We'll be back here tomorrow for Friday Night SmackDown as we watch SmackDown and we continue the road to Bad Blood and everything else. So, guys, enjoy your Thursday night, and I'll see y'all back here tomorrow night on Tino's Time.